Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Alec. I am an artist and I make giant flowers. And I got a new hobby that I start making a art dolls. I will attach some pictures and links to those I already made. And I decided I wanted to make a armchair for one of my doll. And I actually made one, but I didn't like how it turned. And I want to make another one. Hopefully it will turn better. And I decided to make a video. So a DIY. So basically, I already pre-made this sketch on I4, I4 paper. So, and I will post it on my Etsy shop because I couldn't figure out how to attach like a Word document or scan document into my video. But so here's two I4. So you can print on any printer you have, and that would be, I'll post a link to my Etsy shop where you can download it for a few bucks, just to say thank you for my video. Making my videos on my phone, and sometimes some funky things happening. So I made these two sketch, templates that you can download from my Etsy shop. Okay, so basically that's what they look like. Okay, and then all you need to do, just cut pieces on something like a, cardboard or something. So then you can use it along the way. We will make a armchair for a doll. So let's start it. My hands. Alrighty, so that's kind of like a templates. I already pre-cut, so I prepared ahead of time. So kind of like we will not waste time on the video. So basically what you would need to do to cut two pieces like this, it's actually the bottom, and then two more I cut it from the phone. Actually, what I wanted to show, that I just cut from the cardboards whatever I found, and I have a bunch. Or you can use a foam board, just whatever you have, or something like this, just a Walmart box, pretty good actually cardboard. So you would need two cardboards, two foam boards. This is something to make the bottom thicker. That's it. If you have something one thicker, or if you can use just the foam, like, doesn't matter. So basically that would be like this, that would be the bottom of the of the chair. And then cut one piece like this, and it will go like this, and the sides. Okay, so now I'm going to glue all these parts. And by the way, what I wanted to tell you, for example, when you cut the cardboards, and they are sometimes, if your knife is not very sharp, or happens, it's not very kind of nice edges, what I do, I basically have my descender. See, it's really worked out because I use it. I have a bunch of them, but this one is kind of looks like I use the most. And you just basically sand it, all the imperfections, to make it like a not much, but mine is pretty fine. So I already kind of removed all this fluffy edges that happened when I cut them. So now I will start gluing them. By the way, in this case, I use two types of glue. I use hot glue, and you can use a tacky glue, but I would probably using this glue. It's kind of like all-purpose something glue, but they work pretty much the same, So just as you're comfortable, but I would not recommend to use hot glue on fabric because, I just don't like how it looks, Okay, so let's start it from the first. What I actually do, I just put like this, closer to the middle. I will probably use the one. So this has this line, I don't want to use it. Now I can use it to the bottom. And just basically put like this, put the glue, and just attach it very nicely. We can attach more later, but as of right now, it's kind of okay, just like this. Okay. Okay, let's put a little more glue to make it stable. You just can scroll if it's too slow for you. But you know, glue has to, even it's a hot glue, it needs a few minutes to dry. So what next I'm going to do is to glue this foam to the bottom. So basically just you know, just like this. You know, it's better to use probably tacky glue, so it will give you some time for manipulation. And but you know, since I'm doing pretty fast, I am going to use the hot glue. But as I said, it's better to use a tacky glue, so if there would be not very straight or some imperfections, so you can always fix it. See, it's already, see right here, it's already stuck, and I have a little bit not straight, and now it's hard to move because I used the hot glue. But let's keep going. Okay, now I have this part that I probably will use tacky glue, so I can, you know, I don't want to be worried that it's you know, that it's stuck and I cannot fix it. Hot glue is good, but you know, sometimes you just need to use something that you still can manipulate if something is not quite perfect. Okay. And now I don't have to rush. I just can put it straight. The only bad part about you know, other glues than hot glue, it takes time. You know, basically, see, I just added a simply thickness into the bottom. You know, actually what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to undo this, which is not a good thing to do. So basically, now I have a bottom part with the thickness that I created, you know, like this. And now I'm going to glue the, that will remove the extra glue. Okay. And I will attach like this, you know, to the end. So I hope it should turn pretty fine. So, okay. Okay, and a little bit more glue up here, because I didn't attach the bottom part very straight, so now I have to kind of manipulate with the glue. But now we are making some sort of a shape of the future I'm going to put it right here. If you cut, for example, if you pre-cut and if something is not perfect, it's okay, you always can you know, fix it later. So basically we need to attach it like that. So, and try to attach it as perfect as possible. So that's why I'm going to put like this. Oh, so I'm going to put like this. I'm trying to be in the camera, and so I can attach right. See, like that. Okay. So let's start it. So, oops. Let's put some glue here and here. I'll put more. And now, just carefully attach where it's supposed to be. And hold. And hold for a little bit while it will set where it's supposed to be set. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is just to keep it tight and make sure it will not fall apart. Just to put a little more glue in there. Okay, so one side is almost ready. So now we have another side right there. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing. Glue. I'm putting a pretty generous amount of glue because, you know, so it won't get cold very fast. Okay, and now try to attach as perfect as possible. Basically, if you cut from my templates, it should fit. I cut from my templates all of this. So first I create a template so I can kind of do it right DIY. Because for this purpose is the template is kind of, you better have it so you don't have to. But if for some reason you cut a little slightly not quite right, that's not a big deal, you know. You always can straighten up with a small scissors like this just to adjust if something is not quite the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so here's we made a skeleton of the future armchair. Okay, so now next what we need to create something to cover this with something soft, you know. Basically we will start from this side right now with something soft, and I found this you know, this is kind of like under the tree fabric something, and I thought that would work for me. But you can use anything soft you have. It could be felt, it could be you know, flannel, your old winter pajama that you don't wear. And basically what I did, I used my same templates I have and just put this template like this, and I left the bottom part longer, you know, as longer as possible, just longer than the regular let's say this is a template, this is a no, like this template, and I left this side, you know, longer. Then I can cut it as I need, you know. I didn't cut it right now. So, and basically what we need to do is we just start cover with something soft our cardboard, and I'm going to use a tacky glue right now. So I don't want to use hot glue, so I won't be able to move it if it will stuck kind of not quite where I want it. So, okay, and I will just start from here to make sure it's right. Maybe to put a little bit upper like that, and then to here. Since it's tacky glue, you can, you know, move it if it's not quite where it's supposed to be. And then this part I'm going to simply cut because we don't need it here as of right now, and add a little bit more glue to the edge right here. Okay, hope you see me well. Yeah, I added a little light, so because my studio is pretty dark. If you see my previous videos, if you first time, then subscribe, and I will try to make more good videos, DIYs and other stuff. But my studio is actually my garage, you know, as I turn it into my studio. I work on a living room, on a kitchen, on one of my bedroom, and it always was not enough space for me. So I kind of finally turned my garage into my studio, and I like it because all the mess is here, and I can keep my house clean. Okay, now we would need to wait a little bit when glue will dry, and then we will start decorating. So like this, if you have anything extra, now you can always cut it, you know. When you have not enough, that's bad, but when you have extra a little bit, then you always can cut for the shape of the you know, as you want. Okay, now we have this back nice and clean, and then let's go to the next step. Okay, now using basically same our templates, we need to cut in also cardboard, but a thin one. This one I use from my cat food. You know, this is from cereal, but they should be you know, soft but still strong, but any type of cardboard you have. So basically we use this, but they will be slightly, we would need to make them slightly smaller, but as of right now we just need to you know, cut this pieces same way, one of bottom, two sides like left and right, and you know, in the back. For the back, I used a little harder one. I don't know why, but I think it's not quite, it doesn't really matter. So, okay, so now I'm going to cut it. Now, important, once you cut all the pieces using the same templates, now we need to kind of measure it again. And what happened is, even if you use, you know, like templates, it's always something in maybe slight imperfections. So what we need to do now, we need to cut it to the size. See, they are larger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the bottom part, okay, and measure it, and I see that in the bottom it fits perfect. In the bottom it fits perfect, but it's still some right here. So that's what I'm going to fix, and I'm going to cut a little bit one side right here, or because now we need to make a good fit, so we don't have to cut it later. And I'm going to cut a little bit right there, okay, because we're going to cover it with the making cushion type of things. Okay, now it's fit perfect and it's easy to in and out. And now we're going to do exactly the same thing with all parts. The bottom actually fits perfect. The bottom is fine. This will go here. Okay, so now we have all these parts pretty good, back to bottom. Okay, I'm back because my cat was meowing like, you know, she doesn't care if I'm busy. She needs her food. So now we need to create something like a cushion. I have like this, I think it's packing or something, but whatever you have to kind of to create a cushion, you know, I find this kind of things, and I hope it would be enough. We'll see. So basically now we use this our adjusted templates to cut our cushion. Okay, good. Looks like I have pretty much enough. Well, something like that. So now, where's my pen? Where's my pen? Right here. And now let's just, you see all the thing I'm doing here. And now, just let's draw these cushions. Okay. Okay. So now you probably can't see it on a screen because it's a reflection. And let's just cut it carefully. Alrighty. So now what we're going to do, we're going to attach to here to our pre-cut cushion. Now I'm going to use the hot glue because that should be just fine. I want to add a little more kind of puffiness up here. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to just roughly make some sort of roundish, and we'll glue it right here. So to make it a little kind of puffier, the top side. Okay, right there. Okay, and I want to do same thing since I still have some cutoffs of this my cushion type of material. I want to add some more. Right here, like about this size, right there. Kind of, I'm cutting just some sort of roundish piece, and I'm going to glue it somewhere right here to make it a little kind of puffier or something. Oops, like this. Okay. And I need to cut this extra. You know, the other parts looks like just fine. And this, it has a little bit, but I will straighten up just in case. I don't think it would affect, but who knows? You better just clean up a little edges. I decided to do it. Okay. Some sort of. They are soft and they also could be fixable. Okay. Now, what I decided to do right here, I don't like how it looks right here. And I had, where's my cardboard leftovers? Okay. And I want to cover this part with the cardboard. To make it look better, you know, right here, because it didn't turn it very straight, so I just want to make it look a little bit better. Okay, like this, like that. Okay. And we'll glue it on a hot glue to make it faster. Sarah, you here again? Okay. Like this. See? Now it looks nicer on this side. Okay. So, a little bit cleanups on my table. I have like this, some sort of fabric. It's soft and stretchy. So I decided that would be pretty, because my doll, she has a kind of gray outfit, gray and black outfit. And this is also kind of gray and black. And it should match with her outfit. So, what I am going to do, basically, you know, on the other side, it's actually brown. You know, it's actually brown on the other side. So, what I'm going to do, I need something to mark, because that's probably not the best marker. I need some different color. I don't know, I have this red one. Hopefully it will work. So, and I need some, we'll probably cut some in the middle. Yeah, here you go, like this. So what I'm going to do right now, I will just mark. Oh, it marks perfectly well, like this, and like this, and then just flip it to the side, and we'll do marks here, and then flip it to the other side, and we'll mark it here. Okay, that's what I got. But I'm going to cut further than markers, you know. Let me just cut extra, and I will cut further than my lines to create kind of a flip, you know, like that. And I'm going to put glue on a tacky glue, so I kind of would be able to manipulate, you know. Quite a necessity. It could be, because this is pretty soft itself, but when I started, I wasn't sure what fabric I'm going to use, so that's just fine. So we're going to flip and just add some, not to make a mistake. Okay, like this. See how beautiful it turns? I already like it. Okay, and now this side, same way. Okay. And just tightly and carefully add here. Okay, But you know, actually now it's a kind of double soft, and look, getting like a like a luxury, getting like a luxury chair, very soft. Okay, now what I need to do is just to cut this part to be able to flip it, you know, on the sides. Even this material is pretty stretchy, but still it's better to have some, you know, cuts to be able to flip nicely. So I feed you. What else you want from me? So, and now I will use hot glue to flip the sides. And okay. And just let's start cover the edges as best as possible to make the edge nice. So the main thing is just to make a nice edge right here. If it will not happen very nice, it's just fine as well, because you always can cover it with something. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do with this part, but I'll think about it later. Let's just finish up. Let's finish up with the edges first. Like that. So you just keep going round and round. Okay. Kind of edges. I'm going to just cut the thicker part so it won't be that much fabric on the bottom. Now what we have here, see, that would be the back actually done, and the sides. And now we're going to work on the cushions. Okay. Okay, let's go back to work. Okay, we have our cushions done, and let's try all of them one more time, how they look. Okay, like this, and the sides. And the sides. Measuring. You know, that's important part. Before you glue, make sure you measure everything very carefully. Okay. Now looks a little better. Okay. I feel like I would make it inside white. Something white inside. I kind of really like this inside white instead of just completely like that, you know. It also would be just fine, but if I can find something white, this is what I want. Let me just pause it, and I am going to go and find something white fabric or something what I can find white. Let me see. Okay, I'm back. I just decided I want something white inside, and all I found is this white t-shirt that I can cut. Now let's start with the bigger stuff. That would be the face, that would be the back. Okay, so it would be sort of like that. Okay, so now we're going to make some marks like that. Okay. Gluing it. Okay. This is something extra. Just cut it out of the way. this side. Okay, just cut every extra fabric, just cutting off everything extra that bothers me. You know, if you're a crafter or want to be, you know, it's always something you can cut off if it bothers you. And the last piece, let's see what develops. Okay, right here. Ouch, ouch. Get my finger right in the hot glue. Okay. And now I can just, you know, everything that is not perfect, glue it back so that everything would be glued on the back well. You know, just look what else you want to be glued better. This all would be hidden on the back, so that's not a big deal if there's something, you know, not very perfect, but it's always better to do as perfect as possible, right? Okay, so now that's how it's going to look like. Yeah, I like it when it's kind of white, you know. I like this combination better. Okay, so I'm not gluing it, nothing yet. So first I need to create this part, and then I will start gluing once they are all ready to glue, you know. Just a little out of my way. Now let's next. And on this side, I'm going to do the cuts because, you know, there's a curves, and it's better to have a, you know, cuts so I can glue them nicely. I'm taking my video on my phone, so that's why I'm not quite sure what you see. Hopefully you see what I'm doing because my phone pointed to the table. Okay, I want to cut a little bit more right here so it won't be kind of a bulky right here. And one more drop. And again, just cut everything that you feel like it's extra and glue parts that did not go well. It would be all in the back, but still you want it nice, right? It won't be, nothing of this would be visible, but still it's better to glue them nicely. Okay, that's how I turn it. Okay. With from the sides, you know, we'll glue sides first, and then I will do the middle part. And I'm going to use tacky glue because this way I can control it better, and I will have time to kind of adjust it if needed. Squeeze it, push it, or something to hold. Something to hold. Not quite perfect thing I found very quick, but something, we need something to squeeze and hold. Okay. And the same thing with this part. Oops. I'm just going to spread glue, make sure it's everywhere. Okay. And now same on this side. Perfecto. Okay, now I'm going to squeeze the back here. Yeah. Already now, squeezing it where it's supposed to be. Like this. Maybe we'll put this for now. But but it's actually pretty close to where it's supposed to be, so should be just fine. Okay, now the last piece to here. Not last but not the least. And I believe there's many ways you can do a chair, but this is one of mine. Okay, what do you think? Hey, turning pretty well, I think. Alrighty, so we're kind of done with the top side. It's still gluing right here, and then I will, if it's, I will do later, like edges, attach better. I can attach it with a hot glue, if there's something, like a gaps right here, or maybe we will cover this, edges with something. But I like how they look, I don't want to cover it, I work so hard to make them perfect, and I like it. I don't want to change. I don't want to cover this nice edge, right here. Okay, so now let it dry, and then we will go back to the bottom side part to create the legs and all that. And let's see what we can do with that, okay? To make them nice and pretty. Okay, I'm keep making a mess here. So now we made this part, and I forgot to turn on camera. I just cut the cardboard, just measure it just right there, and just put this kind of like a bottom part. And now I decided kind of like it stays low, and I want it to stay kind of like a higher position, kind of like I want this part glue. I want this part is kind of like a higher, so I decided to add kind of like height to it. So these are actually could be could or could be just kind of like a bottom. So this is basically I cut the cardboards based on oh, I can't put it like this, sizes of the bottom, kind of front side. The important part, they should be all same height. The lengths you can control while gluing them. So basically that's what we need to kind of glue together, this type of base, let's say. Okay, that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so I want this part kind of on a bottom. This two is the sides, and this is the back. Basically we will start just gluing them together. And now we can glue it on top of this, like that. I would say if you're not sure, use tacky glue always, because kind of with the hot glue you need to make sure you put right where it's supposed to be. Otherwise you have very limited time to fix it, Okay. That's what we have right now, like this. So it's oh gosh, how I can put it so you can see better. I hope so. So now we just put the fabric on the bottom, and these will work like legs, so we don't have to add any legs. This will hold it pretty well, So at least we can escape one type of extra work, creating legs. So, and I decided to do the bottom with the same color, not white. And so I just need to measure. Oh, that's what we just, good enough. Okay, and I just need to cut it more straight, and we'll cut slightly thicker than this holders, the bottom sort of legs, so I can flip a little bit inside. Okay, alrighty. Okay, looks nice. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to the bottom, like that. And we'll start from the back, and then the edges, I just want to flip it inside a little bit like this, so they will look nicer. And in this case, I think I can just start here. I will start from the bottom make sure to put fabric straight so it will cover very nicely this part. Okay, and then here. And I'm using scissors just to kind of flip it, squeeze it in there. I'm not flipping it, just pushing it so it will go kind of like this. Okay, and one more side, same thing. This is on the back side. I just glue. I'm just thinking how to do it. I think I will do just right by the corner, like this, and we'll cut this right in the corner, so it won't be like any flips or anything, just it will touch the corner, kind of. Just we'll put some glue right here, and it's perfectly sitting there because this fabric is kind of soft and fluffy and it doesn't show any imperfections, so I'm lucky with that. Okay, so now I'm going to just flip this inside, and I will need to do a little cuts on the corners and just glue it, and it would be done. Okay, it's 8:20 here, 8:20 p.m. Kind of took me a long time to do that. Even I thought like, well, I prepared everything, I should do it very quick, but you know, not happen. Not happen quick and easy one. But at least if you watch it, you will know exact, you know, not exact time, but you might kind of be prepared of that it takes time. It's not that like when you see the 3 minutes video, like dun dun dun. When you start doing it, it's not that quick. It's not that quick. So basically, here you go. So let me just turn a little bit, kind of, you can see it now, like this. Okay, and I will just try to put my doll on it. I believe she will fit in there. See, I like how it turned it. Okay, let me just pull camera somewhat like this, and so I can show you. Da, 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 da. What do you think? I think it turned it really cool. You know, in my studio it's getting really dark. Okay, lower like this, and that's the bottom. We don't need legs because we have this board right here which is pretty sturdy and not moving, and I think it's just perfect. Okay, let me bring my doll and let's see how she will fit in there. So here we develop my doll with a new chair. This is the chair that I made first. It's not that bad, but it didn't turn it the way I wanted it would be, but it's very cozy. Maybe for sunroom or somewhere it will work. But now she has a new fancy luxury chair like that. See how cool? Yeah. And I think she's much happier. See, my doll. See how beautiful she is? I am really tired today and I need a rest. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please like my video. If you did not enjoy it, like it anyway. Make me feel better. I spent so much time today doing it, but I would do it without video as well. But making a video, it takes kind of longer because I have to make sure that you see me, or it's kind of like keep going, or so. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me, and see you on my next video. Bye bye.